My name is Shulamit, and I'm the creator of the MetaSounds process. Every Sunday at noon, I host a Zoom meeting for us to explore wisdom teachings and experience the healing power of MetaSounds. These meetings are made possible by generous donors. Please help this site thrive by liking and subscribing, and please join our newsletter at greatoctave.com to receive notices of our events. Good morning, good afternoon. Welcome, everybody. Okay, good. All right, so I sent out some quotes about chaos. We're all aware that there are a lot of changes, and for those people who are affected, it's the rug being pulled out from under you, meaning that things that you have relied on and assumed to be permanent features of your life appear to be changing. And for those of us who haven't been affected, we're kind of waiting till it does affect us. So there's an unsettlement. But chaos is a creative process too, even though you don't feel that when you're in the middle of it. There's something new being born, some reshaping. This is even true of war. You know, when wars are over, there's a new landscape, a new geopolitical landscape. Whether it's for the good or for the ill, or whether it affects you negatively or positively, the fact remains that there's change. And like the proverb I sent you, the Chinese proverb that, in times of trouble, some people build windmills and other people kind of sink into despair. So you have a choice. The key thing is to be steady. The key thing is to be steady and grounded inside of yourself, because it's very difficult to discern what's really going on, which I guess is the meaning of chaos. It's very difficult to discern how this is going to all work out. We may feel it in our personal lives, but we can see it on the geopolitical landscape because things are changing, regimes are changing, and so on. So everything's in a state of flux. And people who are certain about how things are going to turn out are just wrong. There's just no certainty. There are unintended consequences of certain decisions. I mean, we don't know. So the only thing you have really in the end, when you strip away the kind of security that you thought you had, is a deeper security, the security that comes from inside yourself, the security that comes from attachment to a force greater than yourself, of which we are servants. There really are only two paths, I think, in life. One is to be a slave to your passions, and the other is to be a servant to the higher good, and you can choose. But either way, you're not the one who is in as much control as you thought you were. I believe there's a great line from a Bob Dylan song, "You have to serve somebody." We have this concept that we're in control of everything. We have this idea that if we work really hard and develop our skills and protect ourselves through our efforts, then we're in control. Well, to some degree, it's true. To some degree, it is true. I mean, you do create by your effort and your hard work. You do shape by your effort and hard work, and you're part of communities that support you and so on. But it's in times of shift, you come to realize that you don't have as much control as you thought. When things go, when problems come, and they come to each of us in their own way, then we discover that we're not much in control, that we don't really always know what to do. And finding the expertise, for example, if somebody is ill in your family, finding the right expertise is not necessarily sufficient. It's not sufficient to solving the problem. When that happens, when you are called up to see your limitations in terms of shaping of your life and keeping the people that you love, including yourself, safe, then you begin to question what's really going on. What sometimes you question whether the effort was even worth it. I mean, there's a lot of questions you can ask. But the main thing is that if you develop that connection, which is in you, to your creator and to the creation and to the vibration of the universe, and to proceed with as much calm as is possible, with as much clarity as is possible, because it's not always possible to feel those things, you can negotiate your way through difficult times. And it's a kind of surrender. It's interesting, India, and they say that India is a great teacher. And my husband and I were traveling in India some years ago, and we took a car up. We hired a driver from New Delhi to take us to Agra, to the Taj Mahal, and to Jaipur, and so on. This is a nuclear power India, right? And as you leave the city, the roads get really dangerous. 4-lane highways become 2-lane highways, and they become 1-lane highway, and cars are coming at you and around you. There's a lot of accidents on the side of the road. It's chaos. And they drive like it's a river. If you want to pass someone and there's somebody in the lane next to you, just go around them. It's like, anyway, the point is we were terrified. We were white knuckle terrified on this drive. And the driver was very good, by the way. And at some point, after a couple of minutes, I don't know how long, we both simultaneously decided, without speaking, that there was no point to our terror because the whole thing was beyond our control. Whether we were in an accident or not in an accident, we could not control it. We couldn't even say, stop the car, let me get out here and walk, because you're in the middle of you don't know where. And what are your alternatives? Another car? Getting to the train or whatever. So we understood that we were stuck. And and I relaxed. We both relaxed, surrendered. We surrendered completely to our situation and accepted that whatever would happen would happen. And so that's what India taught me. It taught me surrender and understanding sometimes there are situations in which your input will not get you anywhere. And surrender doesn't mean you sort of lie down and roll over, but it means you keep your eyes open and you try to control what you can control, but you understand that there are things that you can't control. There's a kind of grace in it. So I don't advocate doing nothing, but what I do advocate is recognizing that that you have limitations, that even the people who have the greatest power are limited. You think you can do whatever you want, but it's not true. So the key to surviving and carrying a principle forward and moving through this time that we're going into a better time, which may be just right around the corner. When I say right around the corner, it could take a few years, but not far away. And you have to keep your center. You have to keep a positive attitude and your center, that you have the resilience to carry through difficult times and to feel that grace. And you can feel it through the sounding. And I want to today concentrate on another sound, which is the sound for the solar plexus, the sound for Tiferet, which is about balance and harmony, because that is an important sound for you to do during this time to keep your stability. But I will go over that at the end. We'll just do a few minutes. So the way it's going to go is I'm going to sound to you. When I stop sounding, there'll be a few minutes when we go into silent meditation, and then we'll do a few of these centering sounds. Okay. Thank you for joining me today and being part of our community. I invite you to join us every Sunday at noon Eastern Time for the full live experience. Wishing you a wonderful week, and I look forward to connecting with you soon. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Visit greatoctave.com for more details about these webcasts, our newsletter, donations, and more.